Hello and welcome. You know, every parent wants to give their child the best possible start in life. But what does that really mean today? We're going to talk about a school that's answering that question in a really exciting way. DeepMind Public School. Let's find out what makes them different and why it matters for your child's future.
Okay, let's just get right to it. For so long, school was all about memorizing facts for a test. But think about the world we live in now. It's changing so fast. So is just remembering information really enough anymore? This question is at the heart of everything. Are we preparing our kids for the world of tomorrow or the world of yesterday?
And this is where things get really interesting. You can see the shift right here. The old way was all about reading and memorizing. But the DeepMind way, well, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about teaching kids how to think, how to speak up with confidence, and how to become leaders. Let's dig into what that actually looks like day to day. So how exactly do you build skills for life, not just for an exam? It's a great question. It's not just about what's in the textbook, it's about the experiences they have. Let's look at the actual programs that make this happen. This is so cool. Instead of just writing down answers, students are constantly put in situations where they have to think on their feet. Quizzes, oral tests, even mock interviews. These things build real-world confidence. It's one thing to know the answer, but it's another thing entirely to be able to say it clearly when you're put on the spot. That's a skill that's going to serve them for life.
Let's be honest, public speaking can be terrifying, right? For a lot of kids and adults, it's a huge source of anxiety. So the approach here is to make it normal, to make it fun. With regular stage programs, debates, and discussions, that fear starts to melt away. And what replaces it? Confidence. The ability to stand up and share your ideas, that's a superpower.
You see, all of this works together to build a person, not just a student who gets good grades. The goal here isn't just about scoring high on a test. It's about developing a sharp, strong mind. It's about communication, leadership, and most importantly, learning how to solve problems instead of just memorizing solutions. And don't think for a second that this focus on life skills means they're soft on academics. Absolutely not. In fact, they're pushing students to compete on the biggest stages. By offering guidance for things like the national and international Olympiads, they're giving kids a chance to test their skills against the very best.
Of course, an incredible vision like this needs incredible people to make it a reality. Which brings us to what might be the most important question of all for any parent.
So, who are the people shaping these young minds every single day? Who's in the classroom guiding your child? Let's take a look at the team, because honestly, it's pretty impressive.
Let's start right at the top. The director is Dr. Khalid Khan. He has a PhD in computer science from JNU. We're talking one of the absolute best universities in the country. That sets the tone right there. And it continues with the principal, Dr. Uzra Diwan. She holds a PhD in chemistry from another powerhouse institution, BHU. So you've got top-tier leadership in both tech and science. And rounding out this amazing leadership team is the vice principal, Dr. Hina Diwan. Not only does she have a PhD in law, but check this out, she was also an LLM gold medalist. We're talking about a team with expertise across the board.
And it doesn't stop with the leadership. The entire academic team is packed with teachers holding PhDs and master's degrees from India's most respected universities. We're talking JNU, BHU, AMU, Jamia, you name it. This means your children are learning from true experts in their fields.
Okay, so the philosophy is sound and the faculty is world-class. Let's get down to the practical stuff that every parent needs to know: the campus, the cost, and how to get in.
First off, the school follows the national CBSE curriculum, so you know the academic standard is high. And beyond that, they're focused on creating the perfect environment for learning. A campus that's safe, classrooms that are modern, and an atmosphere that's both supportive and disciplined.
Now let's talk about something that's on every parent's mind: the cost. You might think that with this level of quality, the fees would be through the roof. But the school has made a real commitment to keeping it affordable, especially compared to big city schools, without compromising on quality one bit.
So if you're thinking this sounds like the right place for your child, here's the good news. Admissions are currently open for the early years, all the way from lower kindergarten up to grade 3.
You'll want to mark this date on your calendar. Admission forms will be available starting February 1st, 2026.
And here's something really important to keep in mind. Seats are limited. So if you're interested, you'll definitely want to act quickly to make sure you don't miss out. Ready to take the next step? all the information you need is right here. You've got the address and a couple of phone numbers. I'd really encourage you to reach out and get all your questions answered.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to this simple truth. Everything the school does is built on this idea: create a strong foundation, and you're not just preparing a child for a test, you're preparing them for life.
And that's their mission, summed up perfectly. Enlightening minds, empowering communities. It's about building up individual children so they can in turn build up the entire community. It's a powerful idea and a powerful model for what education can and should be.